Well, hello there and welcome again. Yes, this is Donna Speaks Armstrong, and I'm sharing with you concerning my journey to my PhD. Let's just say that I pray I get to the finish line, and I love studying the field of psychology. It's really the field of just the study of behavior, and just always I've been called to be a counselor of sorts. So I'm sharing with you my personal journey and some of the things that I'm learning as I pursue my PhD in psychology, but through the lens of creation, and we'll get to that. Now, I just want to talk to you about part two of what is a PhD and what is a PhD in psychology. So, last time we talked about the basic fundamentals and foundations of a PhD and understanding that it is a philosophical doctorate. We talked about how the history of the field of psychology has its long due roots in philosophy. And we know that philosophy is actually the search for truth and the study of wisdom and search for this uh, wisdom beyond what we already know, the search for a desire for wisdom, I might say. So we could speak about Sophism and we could speak about Gorgias and about Socrates. We could continue to speak on these great philosophers such as the Platos and the Socrates and Protagoras. All of these were really great philosophers. So, well, maybe on the next clip, I will talk to you more about those guys in detail to share with you what they actually contributed to the field of psychology by way of philosophy. Because what? Psychology has its roots, its long roots in the field of philosophy. Now, the short of it is when it comes to psychology, the short of psychology is due to modern science and modern scientific psychology emerged over the last 150 years. And this is a current preference for empiricism over philosophy. So as we see that search for wisdom and truth through the lens of philosophy, we now see this search for truth through empiricism. And this is what we talk about empirical or articles when we have to do our research, when we're studying something, we talk about this empirical evidence. And so we have to understand that the modern psychologists or the modern scientists uses empiricism over philosophy. So begin out of philosophy, and now we have empiricism over philosophy. That's key. So the American Psychological Association says that psychology is grounded in science research, developing theories and testing them carefully for observation and experimentation and analysis. So we find that empiricism is about research. It's about developing theories. It's about testing those theories, and carefully through observation and experimentation, communicate what is known as empirical truths. And they actually help us to be able to function better with people. Um, so people with this PhD become researchers or consultants of sorts to companies, and they become educators or they become leaders. And one of my areas is transformational psychology. So for transformational leadership and still using the foundations of philosophy and the science of psychology, I'm really looking to operate through the lens of creation, and that's what's beautiful. We'll get to that. So my particular field is in psychology, and through the cognate, I found the cognitive peace psychology or clinical psychology and health psychology, because I want to deal with the whole person, mind, body, spirit, and soul. So I hope you learned something today about the PhD that you didn't already know. Thank you for tuning in once again. This was clip 2 of my personal PhD journey. Listen, I thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. You have a great day.